Okay. Yeah, so he'll be on the call this Monday too. So we're just going to just dive into hashing out Success Club, right? Like, let's get it done. And we wanted to just kind of poll the room and see who's at Success Club and what's working for you. So Leslie, are we going to run through the list or no?
I didn't even have time to pull it. I literally just got the kids to bed, and here I am.
It's all good. We don't have all night, so we're just going to dive in. Who's at Success Club? Raise your hand. Okay, we're going to pick on some of you guys who are at Success Club and ask some questions. And so if you're not at Success Club, please feel free to toss your questions into the chat box. Okay.
And I mean, I'd love to know where people are feeling stuck. Is it just the inviting? Is it the connecting? Is it the follow-up, their ghost? Like, maybe we can work through some of that. Like, Anita and I were both like, let's get on the call tonight and, like, help some people lock in Success Club. Like, even before the work launches on Monday, September 30th. Like, please don't wait until Monday.
No. Oh, my God, no. Yeah. Okay.
So can I answer a question?
Yes.
Okay. So I have been like an inviting machine and like actually tracking it and everything. And I'm getting really ghosted. And like, I'm even going through people that like 6 months ago, I can see like for like once a month, like I've done my follow-up. And so I'm just like, how do I break through the getting ghosted kind of thing?
How many people are you inviting every day?
So I have my like minimum that I force myself to meet is 20 invites and 10 follow-ups.
That's awesome.
And then like every Sunday I try really hard to push for 50 to 60 because my Instagram analytics say that it like explodes on Sundays after 6 p.m.
That's awesome. And where are you finding these 20 people that you're
I'm going through mostly my stories because I have been getting more, like my story views in the last month have gone over 300 consistently, which is new for me, but my actual likes on my pictures are down to like 20.
Yeah.
So obviously people aren't seeing my feed. They're all in my stories.
Yeah. I have the same thing going too.
That's the way Instagram is trending right now. Stories are so popular. The feed is just like, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of us all feel that way too. Okay, so let me follow up that question with how consistent are you in your stories every day, showing your vital behaviors? Are you showing up every single day and showing the same, your workout, your nutrition, your personal development, those sort of things?
Yes, and then I did a one-on-one with like Bree and Carrie, and one of the few things we did talk about switching up is instead of putting my transformation picture in like my top 6 squares, since people aren't seeing the feed, is trying to put that more in the stories.
Yeah.
And then every Saturday I've been also trying to do like a coaching call to action because I'm really trying to push for diamond right now.
Okay. So with your follow-ups, you're doing 10 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually scale back your invites and increase your follow-ups because the magic is in the follow-ups.
Okay.
The first 4 conversations with somebody I have tend to be a little back and forth and they're usually not really bought in until I have kind of been in their newsfeed for a bit, and then I follow up again. And I find that's about the 4th or 5th time we talk that they're ready. So I would instead shift that number to maybe even like right now, 10 invites, 20 follow-ups, or whatever you can manage. Because especially with it being the last 5-6 days of the month and you're pushing for diamond, I think your winning is going to be in your follow-ups for sure. And also talking incentives, going back and saying, hey, right now we've got these things coming up, and do you have promo codes or a promo code that you can use?
I have one still.
Yeah, use that. Just say, hey, I got this promo code. There's a sale going on. Would you be interested? And coming up with some way of maybe even adding urgency. Like the open, enrollment for my boot camp is ending on this day. I have this, this promo code, and, so setting like those boundaries and setting urgency, or even just telling them I have one last promo code.
Carly, do you
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, do you follow up in text or voice or both?
I've been doing both now. I was not doing any voice, and last week I started doing voice.
Yay. I think it helps.
I've been getting more responses.
You're like a real person.
My question also, and I talked to my team about this, is when you are inviting, are you connecting first, or are you just straight up going for the invite from your story?
Are you asking me?
She's asking Carly.
Okay.
Sorry. So anytime I have someone new in my stories or my likes or something, I have like a quick reply that says like, hey there, thanks for following along in my stories. Your support means the world to me. And then it's like a little intro. So you're getting a quick snippet of who I am. And then it's not until they respond to that, or I'll like track it. If they've been consistently watching my stories for 5 days plus, like if they're a new person, then I'll send them an invite.
So for me, the telling people about who I am does not work for my audience. And so I try to say that, hey, thanks for the love of my page. But then I try to immediately make it about them and start the conversations that way, because I find personally with my following, I don't get any response if I tell, hey, I'm Sarah, I'm this, I'm that. They're like, okay, great. So I try to tell who I am in my stories every day so that I can get around that. But also just making the connection with them first before you even dive into the invite, for me, has helped me not get ghosted nearly as much.
Okay.
I really like Janelle shared it on the National Wake Up Call Monday, but it was comment, compliment, question. So CCQ, right? So comment, like just a comment to one of their stories or a post, and then give them a compliment. Oh my gosh, I love your leggings. Where did you get them? Your dog is so cute. Like, right, she gave a couple of examples too, but like people are going to respond to you, are more endeared to you if you like compliment them, ask them a personal question about them and their life. And that's helped a little bit too. Yeah. And what Anita shared last week on the call, like using the Google Doc, like the 4 touches and invite, like I think similar, right? I think it's so important to make that kind of connection. For me, the biggest thing when I'm like rallying to fill up a group, I have fence sitters out there just watching. The biggest thing that I have learned is doing a call to action with not only my before and after, but with a couple other before and afters that I think my following is going to relate to, which is often why I'm always asking in TLC, like, hey, will you share your photos? Because it's really great to like pick from fellow teammates and share their success. But it also allows our followers to be able to see like, oh my gosh, like she looks like me and she's had those results, or I identify with her body type, like this would work for me. So doing some of that, explaining what they get, using polls, which I hate, because even if you have 10,000 right now, I find the return on swipe up is just absolutely shitty. So I'm using polls. And doing a countdown has been huge for me. So I just like, you can find graphics on Pinterest or whatever, like pretty fall graphics. Make your own, like a skinny jeans boot camp now enrolling for October. And same, use the deadline. You have only 5 spots, 10 spots, pick whatever it is. And you know what? Sarah B just joined my challenge group. I write her name down and add it to my stories. And then, oh, Anita M joined too, right? It's okay to have a few fictional cast members join your challenge group, because it starts to show like, oh shit, like other people are signing up for this. Like I want to get a spot, right? So, and then I find once I do that, like a few other people that have been just sitting on the fence, like waiting, I've talked to them, I've followed up with them, start to come around. It's really up to you. Like, it's totally a marketing thing. Just to get them to like, be like, okay, other people are doing this. I can see the results. A few more people already signed up. Like, okay, I need to do this. Say that, Sarah. Tell us that.
If I get a day full of objections, which happens a lot, I try to either make a post about that objection and why I either had it too, or I'm over it, or why they should get over it, to kind of call them out without saying, hey, Leslie, like, you are objecting because you don't have any money. Instead of calling them out like that, you just call them out in a post, and it makes them feel like other people are having the same objection and other people are having the same questions. They don't feel alone, and they're like, oh, well, maybe that's right. And so then they keep interested in your story, in your posts, and that's what keeps the conversation going.
All right. Does that help, Carly? I hope so.
Yes. I've been getting the money objection a lot, and my Instagram kills me because my Instagram is really like two populations. I have the people that are like 20 to 35 like me, and then I have people that are 50 plus. And so I feel like because I have like such a split demographic that I sometimes have a hard time focusing on what to do.
Just be you. You don't need the people that don't identify will just leave, and that's fine because you don't need to be like cater to everyone. It's okay to like niche it down. I feel like the more I talk about like the tween things my girls are going through, I'm probably losing like the mom with the newborn, but like that's okay. Like I'm not there anymore. Stacy, what will you explain that to us? Like how you just like shoot it down right in your stories?
Okay, I'm outside, so I hope you can hear me because
You're good.
Crazy construction going on in our house right now. So what I was like, you know how you use the question, like ask me a question, right? So you put that up in your stories, ask me a question. You can ask yourself a question and then answer it. So it looks like somebody else asked you. So you can put in like, ask me a question, like, what's that shake you're always drinking? And then a picture of you with your shake. Oh, this, you know, I mean, I wouldn't really do it for Shakeology, but that's kind of a, you know, like, ask me a question about coaching. Like, how do you find clients? I don't even know. Like, I can't come up with anything right now, but I didn't realize that you can answer your own question and then post that there. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you about that.
I love it. Like, I always get like, I wish I were, how are you that motivated? Right? Like people worry about like self-motivation or how did you get the money to start? What, like, there's all great ways to like share that story. Sometimes I feel so far removed, like it was 8+ years ago from like I sold shit and saved up Christmas money to buy my first program that like I don't even relate to that anymore. But I mean, other people do that are like, how am I going to find $160?
Yeah, so that's like a question you could ask yourself. How did you buy your first challenge pack? You know, and then answer it. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, that's a fun tip.
Is everyone actually using the business activity tracker? Everybody who's using it, can you raise your hand?
Mine's laminated.
And have you been filling it out?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a group on my team. It's a chat, and we have an accountability for it. And I would not say that we're 100% in there, but it does, when somebody posts theirs, it does definitely prompt other people to either get on it or explain why they haven't been, or it just basically puts a fire under my ass. I know if I haven't posted it for the day. So I think that's a good thing. You can start with a group of people.
100%. What you focus on expands. And like, that was my challenge. I actually gave it to our 4 weeks of the work group, and it's probably going to come up here in TLC, but to talk about coaching somehow in some way every single day in your stories. And I mean, I think about it at the end of the day, like that it's part of the job. And so is the challenge group. There's two things, like during like basically what, an 18-hour a week period that you need to talk about that in some capacity. And I was just like, okay, I can definitely push myself to do this. And you know what? Like the more I've talked about it, guess what? The more people are interested. I'm having more conversations this past week than I probably have had in a month. All right.
I have a bunch of conversations happening right now because I posted my pre-workout formula, Crack Juice. And I just put message me and dropped an arrow. If you want to learn about my plant-based plant-based pre-workout formula. And I got like 20 messages from people like, okay, what's this? How do I get it? And I'm like, oh, well, what are your fitness goals? What are you trying to achieve? And some of them have been saying, you know, my virtual boot camp, we have a special going. If you join with Beachbody On Demand All Access, you know, you get this discount. And I kind of lay out the prices and everything. And a lot of people have been like, yeah, I want to do that. So kind of trying a different product drop, you know, not even saying that it's Energize. Call it something else. My unicorn pea. I don't know, like whatever. I'm like hearing all the craziest names for Energize.
Oh my gosh. No excuse juice. That's cute.
Yes.
I'm boring. I call it my pre-workout.
My no excuse juice. Crack juice, mama juice, go-go juice.
Yep. But yeah, if you use it and you show it in your stories every day, that's another one, right? I have so much more traction on my stories right now, but I stand there and make my Energize every single morning, and I don't always talk about what I'm doing, which prompts all of these people to like, what are you mixing every morning? What are you scooping over there? What is that? That's a great jumping off point. Oh, it's our pre-workout. Are you looking for one? And then same, I've really tried to get in the habit, be better about showing the food I'm eating, because no one wants to take pictures of their Snickers or their potato chips. So that's good accountability. But I've been trying to really get my shake in there every day. Like whether I'm pouring it, blending it, drinking it, taking it on the go, whatever. And the funny thing is the messages about my shake have gone up tremendously too. Like, what kind of shake do you drink? What is that? That looks so good. Do you have this every day? Like, it's spurred all these other conversations. So like what you share, people are interested in if you're consistent with it. Otherwise, I just think you used it like once and threw it away.
Is anybody really starting to build themselves on TikTok yet? Or like using that platform yet?
My kids talk about it.
Well,
I feel like
no. Until my husband like make them more. I didn't realize that it's like the new social media platform until my husband actually posted a video of like me and my son, and he was like, look at it, you have like 250 likes. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so I had no idea. And so I didn't know if anyone had like
my
girls in that direction yet.
My girls are really into it. So yeah.
So Gary Vee said it's like the next social media.
Could be.
Gary Vee.
Okay. If you're up for it, try it. But you're bang, sweet. If it's not, start a blog. If you're bored between Facebook and Instagram, start a blog. Like, all right, where else in the convo breakdown? We'll get into like 6 weeks of the work. I mean, I shared all that stuff in TLC today. I was like, be on tonight if you have questions, and we can go through any of it. I think the biggest thing is just being comfortable knowing what to recommend to someone. Because I feel like there's always a new program. People are interested. They're curious. They want to try it. There is the fit test, and there is the sample workout. And I would just encourage anyone to do one of those before they go all in on the program. I mean, I guess they can always purchase it to do it later, because I believe, Anita, correct me if I'm wrong, I do not think the work will be available on BOD until like next April. It's going to be 6+ months for this new program. And that's how all of the new programs are going to be. It's going to be a longer unlock period. So it's more exclusive. So again, if someone was like, "Ooh, I really want to do the new program," and then they like die doing the sample workout or something. Amwala was on the roundtable last like Thursday, and I watched it, and he said Lift 4 or Insanity, like Insanity Max 30 would be great, like prep to get ready to do the work. And he even mentioned that he did Insanity before filming of 6 weeks of the work just to increase his aerobic capacity. So I thought that was kind of cool. So if you have someone like, I want to do it in January, they could still buy it now. So they're going to have everything on BOD plus that, but start with something else and then jump into the work on like January 1st once they're ready or whatever.
That's actually how I'm getting some success points, is posting in my challenge group about how they have to buy that challenge pack or the completion pack to get the works for the $10. So, make sure you're making that plug with your clients that, they can get like the 80-day obsession completion pack. So they've got the bands and sliders. And then next week, $10 for the works instead of paying the $50 for the works. So I'm like doing the cost breakdown and here's what it is and putting that in the challenge group. So yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, what else? Everyone else at Success Club 2 or 4 or 0, and you're pushing and you're working or you're just having conversations and trying to help more people get started and you're feeling stuck?
One thing I want to add is I've been changing the way I ask people questions. So when I get their health and wellness goals and we go back and forth a little bit about what they're doing, I always end with, what is the biggest challenge you're facing right now? What would you say is the main thing standing in your way from where you want to be? Is it energy, time, or accountability? And almost always they come back and they go, oh, time and energy. And then I'm like, would a 20-minute workout at home before your kids get up out of bed be a solution? Yes. Would having a pre-workout formula that you can have upon waking before your kids help you get motivated and, do that 20-minute workout? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, well, then I have the answer for you. And it's like they sold it to themselves, by asking them what's standing in their way. That's been a huge light switch in my conversations lately too.
I love that. It's so simple too, right?
So what's standing in your way? Money. I have a whole long rebuttal for that one. Not rebuttal, objection handle for that one.
It's a rebuttal.
Rebuttal. Do you want me to say my objection for that handling for that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. It's long. I always start with, I completely understand where you're coming from. I too was in a hard situation when I first got started. We were living paycheck to paycheck. But after a lot of research, looking at the cost of a personal trainer, I found it to be $50 to $75 a pop. After looking at the cost of working with a nutritionist to make my meal plan, that was going to cost me $300 to $500. And it wasn't covered in my insurance. And then for me to have an accountability buddy to show up in my inbox every morning, I don't even know how much that was going to cost me. But after piecing that all together and then piecing the cost of this challenge pack together, it's night and day how much more affordable this is compared to that. And I always say there's no better option out there. Nothing's going to give you a meal plan, a shopping list, a workout every single day for a year, and a superfoods dense nutrition shake that will replace one meal a day. There's nothing out there that's going to give you that. And then I go back to, and when when I decided to do this, I had to sell some shoes to Plato's Closet, and then I put the other half of my husband's credit card. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm telling you that that's what I did, and it was the best decision I ever made, because that 70 pounds was absolutely worth that commitment and that sacrifice. I'm so much better off without the 70 pounds on my body. I've never felt better. And that's
I
it.
just wanted to kind of play off what Anita said. I do a similar thing. My connection message is, hey, thanks for the love of my page. Means the world to me. And are you working on any health and fitness goals or something like that, depending on what their page looks like? And when I get a lot of responses that say, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, or yeah, I've lost 30 pounds, but I'm at a plateau, things like that. Because my page is very into, my stories are all fitnessy stuff because that's me. So I get a lot of people that are doing fitness, but maybe not at their goals. And so the first thing I say back is, oh, wow, that's really awesome. A, what have you been doing to do that so far? And B, maybe I can help give you some tips to break the plateau. And that gets us into a conversation, because then I'm not asking anything from them or asking to, like for them to buy anything. And I just try to add free value that way in conversation back and forth. And it ends up pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
Good.
Okay, so I think it was Megan asked above, and I caught it. She's with her coaches that are inviting or struggling with people ignoring or ghosting. I think the biggest thing you can do as a leader, and I mean, I always prefer it, I'm like, send me a screenshot of a couple conversations and let me help you. Like, maybe I can pinpoint like what's going on. Otherwise, I'll send the little tiny ghost emoji. I've done that. I just like send it like that little boo. And I'll even say like, are you ghosting me? And usually they respond back like, oh my God, no girl, I never check my DMs. And then I'm like, okay, well, great. Like, should we chat on email?
Yeah.
So like lighten the mood. Also, I've found just coming in and instead of re-inviting them or like following up again for your boot camp, like go in with something personal. Go watch their stories, go look at their page. Maybe they just got a new kitten. She just got a new car. I have no idea. But like go connect in some other way that is not at all related to Beachbody or your fitness challenge group. I feel like that makes it more personal. We take it back to that. Mm-hmm. And then it opens it back up again. I feel like sometimes if they're ignoring you, there's like a reason. They just don't want to tell you their excuse.
I always also like to remind my team to talk to people the way that you would want to be talked to. So for me, Alora invited me for 2 years. We knew each other and I knew what she was doing. But I still needed her to talk to me in a certain way before I was going to say yes. So remember that when you're talking to people, if you just open up and say, do you want to join my boot camp without creating any sort of relationship, if you wouldn't personally answer that, don't send out messages like that right off the bat.
Yeah. Someone else said time, like their excuse is time. And I mean, I always think like we have 10-minute trainer, we have T25, we have Transform 20. Like, I'm sorry, you have 20 minutes. Like guaranteed you are sitting on your ass tonight watching Netflix right now. Like you can do a workout. You can blend up a shake. You can and eat healthier. And if those are the kinds of excuses you're getting, that's what you need to be talking about in your stories. Your shorter workout. I talk about my fast food that I take to my daughter's tennis tournaments. Like I literally pack all my crap up instead of going to McDonald's, and I talk about that. So whatever kind of excuses you're getting, like turn that around in your stories and like show them how it is possible, and then consistently show them that. Yeah, I get that one on occasion too, Sarah. I'm not into home workouts, or I don't like working out at home. And then I'm usually like, oh, that's cool. Do you already have a groove that you're into? And they're like, yeah, I teach at a gym, or I, love going to CrossFit. And so then I usually ask them about coaching.
Or then they say, yeah, but I don't really have that much time.
Seed. Yeah, that's all you can do is plant the seed. Like at the end of the day, we're not in the convincing business, but like,
okay,
I don't know.
So the person in the chat that's asking about nurses, I'm not a nurse, but I'm a travel lab tech, and I work 12-hour shifts too. And so Autumn did something in Ultimate Portion Fix about this. It was the best thing ever. And she said, if people are taking the time to walk out of the hospital, go across the street and smoke that cigarette, you certainly are capable of taking the time to grab your beach bar and go in that bathroom and shove it down your throat or throw a handful of blueberries in your mouth. And as far as like leaving their full-time job and stuff, like I've talked about, like, I don't want to leave my full-time job. I just want to work less to have more time freedom. So like I became a traveling lab tech because that was an affordable way for me to keep health insurance with my preemie child and still do this business. And I like, there are certain days of the week, like I think Tuesdays and Thursdays it is, I have like a whole posting thing where I try to focus on my routine. Is like I get up at 3:45 in the morning to go to work. So then I had to move my morning Meltdown 100 workout to the afternoon, but I'm still doing it. And sometimes even on the weekend, I do my workout at work because I can tell you that there are nurses sitting at that nurse's station just eating their lives away on potato chips and watching their Netflix on night shift or the weekends. They can certainly do the freestyle flow with you. And I post that and share that.
Oh, love that. And Sarah just left her job as a nurse. I mean, to me, I'm thinking if you're a nurse, like you're into health and wellness, right, Sarah? I'm deferring. I'm like just assuming. I don't have a ton. I have a couple of nurses that I talk to.
I think that there's lots of nurses that are not into health and wellness, but they should be. But yeah, I think another thing with nurses, I guess, Angela, are you asking what objections do we get or how to answer them? I guess I'm a little confused about that, but 12-hour shifts, I mean, you have 4 days to work your business, so they shouldn't have that much. I mean, when I first started, I had 12-hour shifts and then one per diem job that I did every week, and I still coached. I just did it in pockets of time on my days off. So I didn't necessarily put in a full hour or two every single day, because sometimes if I was at the hospital for 13 or 14 hours, I didn't have the brain space or the time to do it. So I would do extra hours on my weekends or, on the days off. So that I don't know what objections they have to coaching necessarily. Not anything different than normal people.
Well, and Angela just clarified, she said, I know a few nurses and they think I'm crazy for the suggestion that they could leave their nursing job for coaching. And I mean,
they don't have to leave it.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, when I started this business, I was never like, oh, I can't wait till this is my full-time income. Like, I didn't even know that was possible. And like, honestly, if you told me it was, I probably would have been like, oh yeah, sure. So to me, I'm like, usually that like aha of like, oh my God, I could see this being like a thing and leaving my job comes like, right, 6 months, a year down the line as they've built belief in the product and the business and the company. And then they're like, oh my God, like this could be a thing. I could leave my job. I don't know. Sarah, did you want to leave right away or did it take some time?
No, I wanted to leave right away. But what I can say about leaving my job is I've been nervous about it. And the reason I've been nervous about it is not that I don't think that I can continue to grow as a coach, but because it's part of my story. And I've been riding that train for so long. I'm a nurse, but I still do this. It's my side hustle. And now the script is flipping for me. And so I have to kind of figure out how to continue to make that work and talk about it, because I've been used to what I'm talking about before. So I've been a little bit nervous about it, but only in a good way, because it's awesome. So
I love that.
You guys follow Alyssa Schumacher? So her bio on Instagram literally says nurse turned 7-figure business mentor, RN / so she's got this whole story. She jokes today because she's like, it's been 6 years. Like, I left my job 6 years ago and I'm still rocking the I left my job story. So I would go follow her because she always posts about the coach leaving nursing and becoming a coach and why that's, why she's doing that.
I love her.
I do too.
I love her voice for some reason. Like, I don't know. Her. I'm weird. Okay, bye.
I'm learning all sorts of things about Sarah tonight. She made me take an Enneagram test. Has anyone else done this?
No.
I didn't want to because I'm a sapphire and
You
she told
have
me
to
it was
do
going
it.
to take 20 minutes. It's like, I just don't have time.
Sarah, will you send it to me too? I want to see that.
I'm a 6. Wing 3.
Actually, can you guys put it in the TLC page? Because I've been meaning to do it because Keisha Fitzgerald talks about it a lot on her podcast too.
And I knew what I was too. Sarah's like, go take this test. And I was like, I'm going to be a number 6. And then I was. But I'm a wing 3. So that's like number, I don't know, whatever, 3. And I think that's what Anita's going to be. So if you take it, I want to know if I'm wrong.
What is it? Wing 3?
I think you're going to be a 3, like
3.
full 3. 3
Okay.
is like what, the achiever. I was like, this is going to be all Anita. But I'm 6, a loyalist. Someone else just said they were a 6. I just found out tonight. So exciting. Lots of them in here.
It's official.
Lizzie's a 6. Look at all these. This is like, I have to learn all this. Yeah. Take it from the Enneagram Institute.
Okay.
I tried to take the short I was like, I found a short one. She's like, don't take that one.
$12.
It's $12.
I can't afford that right now.
It was more like the 25 minutes the test was going to take me. I was like, no, my hands hurt.
I'm okay. So my brain is always in like budget cheap girl mode. And I'm like, if something popped up and was like, this will cost you $12. I'm like, nope. And then I'm like, wait, it's just $12 and it's worth it.
And it was not funny. I thought the same thing. I was like, wait, how long is this going to take? And it's $12. Like, I could take a test on Facebook and tell me what kind of cheese I am for free. Huda. Okay, so Lizzie says it's a good way to connect on Instagram. Okay, tell me how.
Please,
Give me the. Cause Sarah's like, they're really funny memes, and I was like, great. So now this is what I do. I just find memes for my 6.
But then I promised that I wasn't looking at memes all day. I was actually doing my business. But the memes are hilarious, and there's an Enneagram memes page, and it tells you like if you're an 8, like it's just hilarious to me. So I share those in my stories sometimes too.
There's an
How do
account.
we use that for mentoring our coaches? How could that be a tool?
I
So-
think we have to get the book, right? Because I think once we understand like all the personality types, then you can figure out how it works in like relationships, mentorship.
Yeah.
It tells you your strengths and also your weaknesses and what you're compatible with. And so for me, I have decided that I'm using it for finding people that I have what I need in my life. In my business. And are also like me.
Cool.
Is that how you've used it, Lizzie? Has anyone used it to like target who they're finding, like coaches or?
I follow an account called Enneagram and Coffee, and they share like all sorts of stuff. And I just started like finding Enneagram hashtags and like looking for people who are my number, or like I like that. There's certain numbers who are really commonly teachers. It's like 6s and 2s, and there's another one. So I look for the teacher numbers too.
Bring me all the 6s. Come on. I like 6s. I'm thinking I like 6s because I like teachers. Teachers are the best coaches and nurses because they like want people to learn. Like, just get this through your head.
All right, well, I'm going to have to find more about my number. I know I feel like so many people have been like obsessed with this, and I've just been over here clueless. Like I've known about this since last year. This was brought up in like our 5-star diamond and above group that corporate runs on Facebook, and everyone was posting their number. And I remember looking it up, and it was like, this test costs $12 and will take 40 minutes. And I was like, oh, fuck no, I don't have time for that. I gotta get back to work. Meanwhile, like, Melanie Mitchell was like, I'm a 3. And like everyone's sharing their number. And I was like, how does everyone have time for this?
Has anybody been bringing back free groups? I've noticed that some of like last year's top coaches are starting to bring back.
I think you should. If you don't have another freemium, you should have a free group.
Yeah.
I mean, Janelle kind of brought that up on the National Wake Up Call too, right? She had like that ebook written, and honestly, like my food pictures suck, so I'm not doing that. Plus, I'm like, who wants to look at my food? Like, boring as hell. Janelle has like pretty food. So, I mean, unless you have like a really great idea, like, oh, I could create whatever, or people love my shake recipes and gorgeous photos or whatever. Or my super amazing 7-day meal plan. Although I get nervous about like meal plan kind of stuff because, you know, unless you're like a registered dietitian or nutritionist or whatever. But I think you should run a free group as a freemium then. Like a way, like create a community around it, or a way to bring people into your network. Like it's just a great way to have a funnel.
I brought back free groups. I was really, really good with them in like 2016, beginning of 2017. And then a man entered my life, and apparently I didn't know how to handle it for the last year and a half. But this month, now that I feel better from first trimester, I was like, I'm going to do all the things that made me successful in the beginning. So I went back to weekly sneak peeks and free groups every month, and I'm talking about coaching and stories and on my page like every single day and just blowing shit up. And for my free group this month, I do in our wellness community that we do like little, like Monday through Friday, like little mini challenges. So I literally just took that plan because I was doing it anyway and made a free group out of it. And so they just do, so like one of the days is like, how many squats can you do in 60 seconds? That kind of a thing. And it's just the same every week. And they earn points if they like improve their own score. So it's not a competition versus each other, but with themselves. And so there's like prize from it. But I signed a challenge pack from it, and 2 people are in a coaching sneak peek from it. So I am pro free groups all the time.
That's a good way to funnel them in if you don't have another. And I love that it's like a huge net. Like you just went fishing, not with a pole, but like with a net. You just threw it out there. And I mean, you just never know. I mean, I've had free groups before where like 30 to 50 people joined, and free groups where like 200, 300 people joined. And then at that point, it's just like connecting, getting out there, adding value, right? And the ones that are interested, right, they start following your life. Oh, what's your shake? What's this pre-workout you drink? Like you're already working it. Okay, like I want that plan, not this free plan out of it. And then you'll get the people that just want free forever for life, and they can just stay in the group.
I it's on my Instagram bio right now. It's a free meal plan, and it's a Jot form. And I post a meal plan to my personally sponsored page every week with a shopping list, recipe book. I bought this from another person, and they made it into mine, and they make me one every week. Leslie, I'll send you that information.
Okay, cool.
But she makes it for a ton of coaches, and then she adds your name in. So it's like you made it. And I think she is a registered dietitian.
Yeah, I saw someone chatting about this in the roundtable, and it would probably be great for my customers, but I feel like I attract a lot of gluten-free people now that I'm gluten-free, and talk about that. So like, I'm like, I don't want a meal plan that has wheat anywhere in it. And maybe it doesn't, but it's my own issue.
But yeah, with that, I have it attached to a Jot form. So they have to put their information into the Jot form to get the meal plan from me, but I have something called Get Response or Get Responder. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I think it's Get Response.
Get Response. And it triggers the Get Response to send the meal plan. And then every week I'm having a newsletter sent out to that list. So I'm in their inbox. But like that's kind of what I'm using for my freemium. But I mean, you can go on Upwork and hire somebody to make you an ebook on something that you're passionate about, something that you love to do. Right now I'm going through like all the testing for Hashimoto's and hypothyroid. So I'll probably do my top 10 tips for reducing inflammation in my bio eventually once I get that figured out. So
yeah, and I mean it's kind of good to even like there's like a fly in here to think some of this stuff out, because I get a lot of questions about like going gluten-free or what do you eat being like, so you really could make it like that niche down, and you're definitely going to find a lot of other people like you.
Yeah.
Sarah, you had a good idea. Tell us what you use as your freemium.
The free workouts?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, duh.
I send them out every single day.
I love it. I mean, do you have a funnel that you like collect these people in, or it's just through like individual conversation?
Yeah, it's my notebook. And I literally just end any objection conversation with, are you okay, Leslie?
No, the fly is like going straight over my head.
I end any objection conversation with would you like to try a free workout from the program that I'm doing right now? And they're almost always like, oh yeah, sure. And then that's who I start with my follow-ups the next day.
I love it.
Did you know that you can just add someone's email into MailChimp?
Yes.
Like manually. So when I was just starting out, I would say, they'd be like, no, I'm not interested. Well, do you mind if I grab your email so I can send you recipes and fitness tips throughout the month? Sure. Grab their email, boom, MailChimp. And I created a list of 13,000 people that way, just from saying, hey, you not interested? Fine. Give me your email. I'll send you.
I'll bug you that way.
What's that?
I'll bug you that way.
I'll bug you that way. And they're like, okay. But when I do a mass email out to 20,000 people, I get pretty good return from that.
So. Yeah, and I usually put like the free workout like link video in there.
Yeah. It would give you more time, Sarah, creating that.
Well, I mean, I even think you could create like a funnel for it.
Yeah.
You still have to then talk to them in some way, right? Because it is that personal connection. Sometimes I feel like that is like, it's just another touch point to have with you. But yeah, it's so true, because we have like these free workouts. Like people don't know that they're there. They don't know they can go to Beachbody.com or beachbodyondemand.com and just do it. So might as well come from one of us. And I mean, they're all still there. I mean, you could send Lift 4, you could send 80-Day Obsession, you could send Morning Meltdown. Like they're all there. All the sample workouts are still there. The free workout. Anything else, you guys? I feel like we were like all over the place tonight, but I hope some of it was like little helpful, tangible tips. Any questions on 6 weeks of the work before we're done?
I can't wait to get sworn at.
Me too. Just yell at me.
Cuss at me.
I mean, I'm fully aware I'm going to get my ass handed to me, but like, I feel like it's going to be okay because he's like an 8-pack. Like, there's no modifier. And I'm like, well, what if I just stand there and watch him?
Exactly.
I feel like starting out with 25 slider.
Is that bad? What's wrong with that?
25 slider push-ups to start a workout. I was like, oh. Oh, I was like, that's my workout. I'm good. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys.
So
Peace and hair grease.
Boomerang.
Yeah, let's do boomerang. All right. What are you doing?
Turn your faces on.
someone tag me.
All right.
Should we do
Ready? 1, 2.
peace signing? I didn't do it. Shoot.
We can do another one.
All right.
Bro, look at the
What are we
camera.
doing? Hands up.
Countdown. You do the countdown, Anita, when you're ready.
3, 2, 1. Cute. Okay, everyone go crush it. Have a good week, guys.
Break.
Break.